what? The pancake expert. The pancake expert not as of yet. Join me on my journey as I go from pancake novice to pancake expert. For the next year, I will be in total pancake immersion, learning the language of pancakes. Every week, I'll be posting up at least one video, and it will delve into different pancake recipes, best practices, tools to use, what ingredients, products, again, everything that will delve into the world of pancakes and best practices. So why buttermilk pancakes? Well, buttermilk pancakes tend to be a lot fluffier, thicker, and more moist and richer in taste than your more traditional flour, whole milk, and egg versions. So why a cast iron skillet? From some things that I've read and some research, the cast iron skillet gives a really nice crispness and browning to the pancake itself, especially if the heat distribution and the monitoring of the heat is done properly. It gives a really nice texture to the pancake, and if it's also well oiled, well buttered and seasoned, it will not stick as well. Today I'm going to show you how to make classic buttermilk pancakes using a standard easy recipe. This is a type of recipe that's been used for many years, and again, very standard across the board, classic style. First, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I am cooking outdoors right now. You can hear lots of new baby birds chirping. Spring. So that's always nice. You can also hear the mowers going as well. Next, you're going to put 3 teaspoons of white sugar. Third, you're going to take 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I got the wrong one. I got baking soda. Big mistake. Next, you're going to use 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Next, you're going to use baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons. For your last dry ingredient, you're going to use 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Right now I'm out of kosher salt, so I'm going to substitute it with Himalayan pink salt, so keeping my fingers crossed that it's going to work out. It should though. Now what you're going to do is you're going to whisk all of your dry ingredients, give it a good little sift and get all of the salt, baking powder, and the baking soda into that flour and salt. The next thing you're going to do is create a little well inside your dry ingredients. That way you can pour your buttermilk inside. So it's going to create a nice little well. So just take a clean hand and give it a little circle in there. So what you're going to do next is pour 2.5 cups of buttermilk inside the little well that you created. This is 2 cups in here. My well is not the best. That's okay, we'll see what happens. So that's 2 cups. And now I'm going to add the other half cup. There we go. And now what you're going to do is you're going to crack your eggs into that well. My well did not come out the greatest. It's okay. So again, you're going to crack 2 eggs into the well. And then starting in the center, you're going to whisk everything in the middle. So give it a good whisk. It should be lumpy. You want to make sure everything is incorporated. You don't want to overmix it either. So just make sure you've got all the dry ingredients stirred into the wet ingredients. And as you can see, it has the little lumps in there. A little bit of bubbles, so that is looking good. Looks great. Okay, next what you want to do is you want to turn on your griddle or your stovetop gas stove, whatever you have, at medium-low heat. You can use a regular pan, a non-stick if you like, or pancake griddle. Most people do prefer, or from what I've heard, that the cast iron is the more classic way to go. That's where usually pancakes were made, were over a cast iron skillet. So I have a pretty large one right over here. And I'm gonna take it to right in the middle of medium low. So now my cast iron skillet is on medium low, and I've got my batter ready to go. And now we're ready to start putting some coconut oil and butter in there so we can start making our pancakes. Also, you want to pour your melted butter into your batter and give it a stir. And that will start incorporating all those wet ingredients into your dry ingredients. Start from the middle and work your way around. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put our coconut oil in first, so that way we can get our pan ready to go over medium-low heat. Because it's going to have that high heat point, you want to start with coconut oil, just because butter is wonderful, but it will kind of burn up pretty quickly. And give that a swirl. Make sure all of it is incorporated into your pan. And these you should be cooking 2 to 4 minutes per side. You want to make sure that you get those little golden edge, the little bubbles that'll let you know that it's ready to flip. I probably should do these one at a time. Again, I'm a novice and trying to become an expert. So this is some of the things that I would do normally to see how I would flip a pancake, whether I do all like one or should I do many. I tend to, because I have a family of 4 and everybody's hungry, I tend to want to do all of them, as many as possible, which is usually why I like the skillets. It's not working out because, give it a few minutes. I think I did too much for the first. It really should go down to a third. As you can see, this one is a fail. The little hot plate is actually, might be too small for this cast iron skillet. Okay, now it's the moment of truth. I get to try these pancakes now and see how they taste. And this is a little bit of a smaller stack that I made. They're eggy. I can definitely taste the egg. Now that I'm tasting this, I think I either have to reduce to 1 egg or just do egg whites. And egg whites might make it more of a fluffy, give it more of that fluffy texture. So taste-wise, they're fine. So the salt worked well, but I do taste the egg. That's the only thing that I can tell within the taste of the pancake itself, that there's just too much of. So I will definitely reduce the egg. I'm going to research into either reducing the egg or using egg whites and not the egg yolks. And the other thing too that I do want to experiment with as well is using less buttermilk so that they're not as runny. And on my next try, I'm also going to cook them over the stove. I will either try them on a cast iron again or on a skillet, I'm not sure, but I definitely need to do a little bit more research on how to make sure that the standard recipe will turn out especially consistently for a classic buttermilk pancake. But hope this was a fun learning experience for you as it was for me. So come and follow me on my journey as I go within the next year in the adventure of pancakes and all things pancakes. Don't forget to also eventually check out our Pancakes versus Waffles channel as well. That will be coming up soon. Just give us a little bit of time to get a little bit past the novice stage, but that will definitely be coming up as well, along with the waffle expert channel too.